Quilters, today's show is all about creativity and scrap busting.
So stay tuned to see how you can use your scraps in new projects.
Hey Quilters, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
You got to see a little bit of the dream studio this morning. Hey, welcome to today's trunk show called Get Creative with Your Scraps. Today we're sharing plenty of ways you can use up your scraps with the AccuQuilt system.
That's right. Now we've got plenty more in store for you too, including some fun prizes, quick and easy project ideas, and a scrappy trunk show.
All right, now when it comes to working with our scraps, our 4 and 5 inch cubes just can't be beat. Whether you're cutting specific blocks or just cutting all your scraps into different shapes, just in general, so that you know that they're gonna work together. It's really a fantastic way to be sure that you're using your smaller scraps.
That's right. Now, if you aren't familiar with our cube system, it all starts with the Go Cube Mix and Match blocks. Now, each mix and match cube has 8 shapes that will all work together to make over 72 different quilt blocks. Now, those quilt block patterns are all available as free downloads on AccuQuilt.com, and they come in 7 different finish size blocks: 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12. So we have a lot of videos available where you can learn more on our website, on our Facebook page, and the YouTube channel. But as they say, wait, there's more.
Now, those original cube blocks can make 144 mix and match patterns.
Right.
But if that's not enough, then we have the Go Cube companion sets, angles and corners. Each of those companion sets bring 4 more shapes and 72 more blocks along with them for at least 216 mix and match blocks.
That's right.
The 4 and 5 inch sizes are great for scraps, and here's some of the blocks that we've made from our scraps.
These are just 4-inch ones. I grabbed just a couple of them.
Look at how
you
fun
can
these
see
are.
What, you know, no scrap too small almost, right?
Right. And sometimes too, I really just do have tiny little scraps.
Right.
And you just don't want to throw them away.
Well, they add up after a while.
They do.
These are just some of those. But if you really want to move through your scraps, you can be like our very own Lynn Gibney. She is in the process of making all 216 mix and match blocks from her 4-inch cube. Now, she says she's over halfway done.
Right.
Now, you don't have to take on something quite that ambitious if you don't want to. We've got plenty of other great projects available for both the 4 and 5-inch cube.
All right, so let's check out some of those projects. And these are all free downloadable patterns from AccuQuilt.com. We're using our 4-inch cube. So this one is actually one of our favorites. This is the Go Happy Plus quilt by Melanie Call of A Bit of Scrap Stuff. And she used Riley Blake fabric.
And does that not make you happy when you look at that?
So happy, so happy.
It's just a happy, and they're the 4-inch blocks. She's used the 4-inch cube, and then she's used, actually they're not 4-inch blocks because she used the 4-inch cube, so but she's used it in a 9-patch configuration. So that makes a little bit larger block.
6-inch block.
6-inch block, but then she's separated them with the sashing and these cute little cornerstones. I just love it.
And she bound it with a straight binding for the win, and look at this cute fabric on the back.
And she did a really smart thing. She labeled it on the little pocket for a hanging rod on the back.
We've been talking about that this year. You need to make sure you're labeling your
Don't forget to
quilts.
label your quilts. Okay, this is another super cute one.
Bless you.
I didn't want to sneeze into my microphone. Okay. This is the Go Glee Club Table Topper by Terry Vanden Bosch of Lizard Creek Quilting, and she's used Island Batik fabrics, and this is just a scrappy, happy project. And this is a great, we talk about base projects,
right,
or basic
template.
projects. You could put, we've got cute little birds here, but we could use any shape, right, Pam?
You could. You could applique, you know, stars or hearts or shamrocks, whatever you want to make.
Right.
But those little 1-inch squares, there is a die for that.
That's right.
Okay.
Super cute. Now the next one we've got is a bench pillow, and I do love a good bench pillow. I
I'm gonna
keep
stand
saying
back
I'm
with
gonna
this.
make this one. This is the Go Twist and Turn Bench Pillow, and this again is made by Terry Vandenbosch of Lizard Creek Quilting. She's used Northcott solids on this, but this would be such a great scrappy project,
Well,
wouldn't
and
it
show
be?
everybody like the parallelograms, which you should never cut by hand, and it has chisels and
We've
all
got
of these
parallelograms,
great-
all these little pinwheels. They're all kind of pinwheeled. They all have spinning and motion, and then Terry's quilted it with just random wavy lines. So again,
Right.
like the wind through the pinwheels.
Right.
And I think that the binding the edges together like this really frames it out. It's just
Right.
super cute.
And it's, you know, you can take it off. You can
Right.
change it out for the seasons.
Right, I love that. I love that.
Okay.
All right, well, we also have some projects that we made with our 5-inch cube projects that are scrap happy. Another one of our favorites, right, Pam?
Yes, this is called the Ghost Sprocket Wall Hanging by Melanie Call of a Bit of Scrap Stuff, and she used Riley Blake fabric, and I love this project.
This is so
I think
fun.
it's so cute, and you're going to use that 5-inch cube, and you're going to use the companion set angles because it has the trapezoid. Corners?
We've got the
there we go.
trapezoid right here.
Oh, there we
and
go.
We've got, then this is the small half square
Yes.
triangle. This is the large half square triangle from the cube, from your original mix and match cube. And then here we've got our signature block. And again, those small half square triangles are going to come out of our mix and match cube.
Yeah.
So you want your companions to match the same size as your
Yes.
mix and match cubes because they work together.
Okay, we're going to show you the back because Melanie did the exact same thing. She put that label up in the corner so when you hang it, you have that corner.
And this is such cute fabric. Gosh,
Dot
with the
fabric.
pins, with the
Talk
pins.
about it all the time.
Okay, so next up, we've got our Go Blossom pillow, and this is another pillow cover, but this could also be a mini quilt for your wall. It could be a table topper.
You could make it bigger. You could make it a table runner. You could just do whatever you want to do.
It's called Go Blossom by Terry Vandenbosch of Lizard Creek Quilting, and Terry's used her Island Batik scraps again on
She
this
has.
one. This is scrappy happy, isn't it?
Yes, and just like the others, you know, it's made so that you can change out the pillow.
Yep, yep, and she still labeled it.
And this is fabric that I'm using currently.
I was going to say that looks like your log cabin fabric.
It is.
All right, this is another great one. This is a great mini quilt. It's the Go Tiny Trellis mini quilt
yes.
by Missy Shepler of Shepler Studios. Missy's used Timeless Treasures fabric on this one. And isn't this cute?
This is really fun, and I love the bright colors of it. But again, we have Go Quilt that will allow you to change the colorway of any of our patterns.
Yes.
And you could totally make it for holidays. You could make it for spring. You could make it for 4th of July.
And you could add applique into the middle. So where you see those black squares on point,
Right here.
that gives you plenty of real estate to add some embroidery or some applique right there.
And you could make it for Halloween.
You could make that for a graduation gift too.
Oh, you could.
That
All
would
right.
be fun.
All right, Erica's going
All
to
right.
show you this. We're going to do our
Oh my
overhead 'cause
gosh.
These are
so small. So these are our brand new mini magnets. And these were made and designed by Marianne Fontana of Fontana Originals. And she's used the 4-inch cube with these. And look how cute these are.
And okay, so talk about the shapes that are on there, Erica, because she just made basically blocks, right?
She made little blocks with it. And these are the small squares. This is the square on point that has the small half square triangles on the corners.
Right.
Here's the small half square triangle turned into a pinwheel block. Here we've got the quarter square triangles in the blue, and the red are going to be the small half square triangles
geese.
to make those flying geese.
And every cube, shapes 4 and 5. And the hearts, look at how cute
The
these
heart, this one's made with the bow tie shape, and that's going to be from one of the companion sets. And she's just
Corners.
glued corners. She's glued.
are. Were you waiting for a little prompt there?
Well, you know, I
it's
just
one
was.
of those days. She just glued magnets to
Yeah.
that with hot glue.
Yep. And then this one is our trapezoid, and again, the small half square triangle. And don't panic and look at those shapes and say, oh, they're too small.
No.
You know, with the die to cut it so perfectly and accurately, sewing them together is a piece of cake.
And you could make these any size. You could make them from the 4 or 5 or 6 inch cube.
Right, right.
It'd be really fun.
Right. Just use your smaller pieces. Those are super fun. I think we'll leave those out on the set.
Should totally be making those.
We'll
All
leave
right, now quilters, remember that part of the beauty of the cube system is that the same shapes are in every single cube, those same 8 shapes. They're just in different sizes. So if you really love the ghost sprocket wall hanging like we do, but you don't have the 5 inch cube, you can make it with your 6 or your 10 or your 12. It just finishes to a different size and the fabric requirements will be different.
That's right.
So that's the great beauty of the cube.
And maybe you have big fabric to use up that you want to use
Oh,
up.
yes.
Then you want to go for that 12-inch cube. Absolutely.
Big fabric. For those
Big
of you in
fabric
your
for the
stash,
big
you have
cube.
big fabric.
That's right. Now, Quilters, since today's show really is all about scrap busting, we want to know what's your favorite way to use your scraps.
Let us know in the comments section wherever you stream our show.
All right, Pam, I have to admit something.
Oh, yes.
I am drowning in scraps right now.
You really are, because you collect
My
them.
scrap jar is this big antique glass jar, and it is probably this big around and this tall, and it is mounded over.
Yep.
So I have got some projects planned to work through them.
Oh, good.
And one is going to be using maybe the 4 or the 5 inch cube.
Excellent.
I am definitely using the Go Mill Stars. I'm going
Oh.
through, so I kind of go through, and if it fits that kite shape from the Mill Stars, so let me show you.
Show you the Mill Stars right there.
Yeah, right here. So here's a couple of examples.
And this is actually one of our favorite dies that came out. This is a bob die or a block and board die, which means all the shapes you need to make these blocks are on one die board. Now, some of you are thinking maybe there's a Y seam or 7. There are no
There are no Y seams.
And all you're going to do is create these 4 sections right here
Yep.
and sew them together. So this one is kind of cool because we made them opposite, but a really great scrap buster.
Yes, and so you can go with, if you want to cut your backgrounds out, cut them out like this so they're all different. I'm just going after cutting them out. I've been using my white scraps to cut backgrounds, but I think I'm gonna do some like this. It's just a super fun project, and it's a great way to use up those scraps.
So this is an 8-inch finished block.
That's an 8-inch finished block, so that's one thing that I'm starting to cut mine into.
Right. Now, think about this. If you want our Ready, Set, Go, which comes with our 8-inch cube, you could make blocks the same size from the Mill Star. So Mill Star is a really great starter bob.
Yes.
Really easy to put together. It's going to be great.
Now, one of our very favorite designers has a quilt along going on using 5-inch square, or 2.5-inch
Squares.
cut, 2-inch finished squares. So that may have to happen too if I end up with a lot of those scraps. But another thing that I like to do with my scraps
This is so cute.
is, and this is not my original idea, so one of our go-getters, Sam Rhymes with Ham.
Sam Rhymes with Ham. We love her. We don't know her real name. We just know Sam Rhymes with Ham.
And I love her because she's a librarian too.
Yeah,
she's a school
she is a
librarian.
school librarian.
But you can see these are just the little bits left on the sides when I've cut out pieces from my projects. And I've just stuffed them in here because they're pretty.
So Erica bought these at a craft store for super cheap.
Yes, yes, get them after the holiday.
Yeah. And
Turns out that's a great time.
super cheap, and they're just clear and they're plastic.
Yep.
So they won't break. And then she just has a collection of them, and then you're going to put them on a Christmas tree? Is
Well,
that what
I
you're
have
gonna
a
do?
little kind of the old-fashioned metal look tree,
Oh, sure, sure.
silver tree.
Yeah.
And it's kind of getting full, so I'm going to have to look for a new tree for those for by next year. So how's your scrap busting coming along?
So I was really inspired by one of our designers, and I love the Washington puzzle. So I'm going to hold this up. This is just one of the cutest little blocks
It really
ever.
is. It really is.
Ever. And my goal was to just take scraps from all of our projects. I have the same background for all of the blocks.
Okay.
And I'm just cutting them up and making Washington puzzle blocks.
I love that.
And when the whole year is done, I bought like 2 yards of the background fabric. So I have plenty. And at the end of the year, then I'm just going to have a totally scrappy quilt that was made from all of the projects that we made this year.
I'm actually using scraps. I had a lot of scraps from one winter wall hanging that I made.
Right.
That was actually, the fabric came together in a kit. So
Yeah.
I'm making some pillow covers with this dye out of that.
So let's talk about this die, shall we? Are we
let's.
cutting one, or are we just talking about it?
I can cut one.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So shape A is the center. And then shape B, oh, this is super important. Shape B is what we call a directional shape.
Yes.
You want all of these little half square triangles
Facing the same way.
facing up. They're half rectangles, I guess, not half square triangles, half rectangles. And then shape C is just this odd little shape here on the side. And it comes together, it makes this super cute little 4-inch block, which I love because sometimes in my quilting, I have a piece like this big.
Right.
Which is really too big to kind of throw away.
Right.
Okay?
So go ahead and follow your cutting directions, but we
Yep.
just want to give you the heads up that direction matters with this.
All face up. We're cutting it later, says Brock.
Never mind.
So we'll talk about it, but we wanted to show it to you.
We have another kind of cube though, and
Oh.
it's perfect for busting up scraps. You've got it right over there.
I do.
It's our English paper piecing cube. Now this is a standalone cube, and it has the 4 most popular shapes for English paper piecing, and I have some
We're gonna open
samples.
it up right
Yep,
here.
let's open it up. But
Okay.
it's got the hexagon, a half hexagon, a diamond, and an equilateral triangle. They all have 1-inch finished sides, so they're all going to work together. But what is the
This one.
coolest part about this?
Well, the coolest part is it cuts not only the fabric, but it also has a die to cut the paper. So here's our 1-inch finished sides of our hexagons. And then look, right here,
yes.
and it has a little hole in the middle so we can cut them. Okay? So they would work together because English paper piecing, here we'll move this in.
Yep.
Erica can
We've got
kind
some.
of talk about it and then we'll cut some.
Yep.
Because I have a great trick for this.
So here are some pieces. Here are some little hexies that we've put together.
Yep.
And you can see that hole in the back. And why is that important? Because
Oh,
if I had
yes.
my kit here, which I took off set, I could pop a crochet hook in that hole and pop this right out, just like that, because it's all the way sewn in now to the project. So I can take this out, and I can actually take this, put it with my stash, and use it for another project.
That's fantastic.
But you can see here we've taken, and you baste your fabric around your cardstock.
Yep.
So
We have a glue stick.
we have a glue stick, which I couldn't find my glue
Yes,
stick. It was
okay.
I took it out to use it for something else. I should never do that. And then you just hand stitch those together. And this is probably, the most common, that little
flower,
rosette.
grandmother's flower
that
garden
Grandmother's flower garden and that rosette. But these are the other shapes together. So here's the half hexagon, and there's the diamond and the equilateral triangle.
And they're fabulous.
And here they
Because
are
there's
again.
no way you should cut these pieces by hand.
Oh, heavens, no.
Typically you'd have to buy the cardstock and then cut the paper.
Yep.
So we're gonna cut some little flowers here. And then I'm gonna show you this really great trick. So you wanna have cardstock here. Now some of you in your quilting head go, Pam, I do not have cardstock at home. It's okay, every day the postman brings you quilting supplies.
That's
So
right.
this is just a mailer that we got here at the office. So I'm gonna just cut one at a time. And since I don't have to worry about the lengthwise grain, I'm gonna turn it this way. And then my fabric, we can always cut 6 layers, okay? I found my lengthwise grain and we're just gonna tuck it in here. So now I can, because I'm using my Go Big, I can cut these together.
Fabulous.
But I love the fact that we can upcycle, right?
Yes, right.
Instead of
I
buying
mean, you can
new
always
cards.
put those cards into your recycle bag, but look how
can.
slick is that? And now you're going to
Yes.
put it to good use. And just like I showed you, you're going to probably be able to use it for more than one project too.
Right, right. And then you want to just lay one in the middle so you can see.
Yep, so you can see right there.
Right.
It's going to lay in the middle. You're going to use your glue stick. And glue base that around, or you can hand base them. There's different ways.
Glue stick is my new favorite.
Glue stick is my favorite way.
And we have tons of videos, right?
We do. So English paper piecing is a great way for quilters to be able to take a project with them on the go. You can sit and do your glue basting or your hand basting or stitching them together almost anywhere.
Right.
And we've got some great videos available, just like Pam said. They're going to take you step by step through the whole process.
Yeah, it's great. This is also great for a quilter who has limited space available because your dies are all organized in the box, plus those dies all work with the Go Me as well. And it is really a great way to leave no scrap behind.
That's right.
When I'm on long plane trips or in cars, I often take English paper piecing with me.
Yes. It's great little take as you go. And like you said, it is great for the Go Me. It's perfect for that.
Yeah.
So with the English paper piecing cube, you can make tons of projects. We've got some, of course, to share with you. Now, this is about as far as I've gotten on making the first project we're going to show you.
She's trying real hard, though.
I'm trying real hard. Well, I have, you know.
We have other things.
We have other things we do too, but I think I started this when we launched the cube. But this is the Go Hexagon Gardens Throw Quilt. It's by Amanda Harward of Larkspur Quilts.
Hi, Amanda. We love this.
Hi, Amanda.
Okay,
love this one.
This is super fun because this is the typical when you think of grandmother's flower garden, hexagon, English paper piecing.
You know,
this
and
is like the star.
And this is almost like a modern take on it.
It is.
With the kind of grayish background and with the leaves added to it. Traditionally, you'd have maybe just the rosettes all put together, or the rosettes with maybe a white or a cream background to put them together. So this is very modern take on it. It's a old quilting technique.
So I actually have a quilt that my great-grandmother gave to me, and it is grandmother's flower garden.
Yes.
And I have worked on it for years. But my first week at AccuQuilt, because I would cut those papers, you have to cut them in a rectangle, and then you have to trim them and all this. And my first week here, I realized there was a die for that. I was never so happy.
Right.
So I'm working on it, and all of my centers are the same fabric from fabric that I bought at my very first quilt shop where I learned to quilt.
Oh my gosh.
So hopefully, like Erica's, it's just a slow process. And I forget about it sometimes. I think, oh, I should be doing
that. I should be doing that.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to show you these.
These are super cute. Okay, Carolina Moore for the win. These are called English paper piecing zipper pouches, and our good friend Carolina Moore of alwaysexpectmore.com made these. And when they go missing, Brock is going to know exactly where they went because they have little zippy pockets. And then, look, you can store your stuff in it.
Well, right, and I love that it's clear so you can see what you're diving for.
Yeah. These are really fun. And they're padded, and again, these are all free patterns at AccuQuilt.com.
And you know what? I think she probably, she just machine sewed these down.
She did.
So
way to go, Carolina.
She just pressed them down and then she sewed them, I think, by hand together and then just machine stitched them. I love that.
I know. It's so much cuter than my current method of zippy bags.
Yes, yes.
The famous zippy bags. All right, with all of this inspiration, I think Erica and I should give away $100 in AccuQuilt reward points to a lucky viewer who registered for today's show to help them with something new to get started on their next scrappy project.
And something new is really a good way to get inspired for that new scrappy project. The lucky registered viewer winning $100 in AccuQuilt reward points today is, drum roll please, it's Linda L. from Hiawatha, Iowa. Congratulations. Lots of quilt shops in Iowa.
So many. All right, now see, Brock was right. We talked about using the bob or block on board die to bust up our scraps, and I'm going to now find this die and the fabric that we have for it.
We just got a little carried away with the whole Washington's puzzle thing.
Okay. So again, I'm making all these Washington's puzzle blocks. Now this is really an old pattern, right? So we're gonna just find some, here's the block that it makes. And we're just gonna lay some fabric. Erica, did you get us some scrap fabric?
There's a whole pile of it.
Oh
just
my gosh, look at
dig out whatever you want and we can grab the scissors over there and cut it down. But
here, look.
this is what you want to do. You want to just grab your scraps and see what it's gonna cover.
So I promise I won't cut you. Okay.
Please don't.
Okay. So this is, we just need them here for B.
Yes.
So look at some.
Look at us, just cutting.
Okay, and then C are going to be these bigger shapes, and A is the middle, right?
So what do you?
Here, here, here.
Oh, I did think you'd like that one.
I think I have this fabric at home. So I'm finding that lengthwise grain even on our scraps.
Yes.
And it's only going to cut where there's fabric and a mat. So now these are charm squares. See, they're a little too small.
Yep.
But when we launched this die, that one of our educators, our experts, showed us the slick way.
What else do we want on there? We want another color too.
Okay, we'll have another color.
Give us another layer to go with this.
Oh, I see.
Because we need 4. So put that one down first.
Oh, yes.
Is that? Oh yeah, there's the selvage.
I got to find the lengthwise grain.
This will be cute. This will be super cute.
This would be really cute. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So we're going to use the mat. Now this is also on a 6x12 die board. It's going to fit through all of our cutters, including that Go Me.
That's right. And interesting little tidbit, trivia tidbit. This is our first and so far only 4-inch finished bob die.
Oh, do we have any in the works? I don't know. Okay.
All right, so let's lay it out. There's our center. And it's got that little bit of a tilt to it.
It does. Okay, and then now listen, these are important because you want to lay them the right direction.
Right direction, that is correct. You keep going, I'll follow up behind you.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. And again, we had all our fabric facing up. If you're using solid, it's not that.
Right. If you're nervous, use solids.
Here. There we go.
There we go.
Excellent. Look at us making stuff. There we go.
Yep.
I love this block.
Isn't that cute?
Yes, I will be taking these pieces home.
I'm sure you will be.
Okay.
So it looks difficult, but as you can see, it's just really a 9 patch. You're going to sew them together in rows, just like any 9 patch, and sew them together.
Yep.
You can press those seams open. These seams, we actually press either in and out so
Right.
that you can nest those seams together, get those perfect little points.
Yeah.
It's so easy to put this together with your scraps.
Hey, you could join me in making all of your scraps this year.
That's right.
All right. Because I'm sure you all have scraps.
Oh, do you
Your
think?
Yeah, just a few.
If you're a quilter, you have scraps.
Okay, so this was my inspiration from Melanie Call of a bit of scrap stuff.
Yes.
This is called the Go Tilted Whimsy Wall Hanging, and she used Riley Blake fabrics. And this is what inspired me because the background is the same and the blocks are different.
And she's added sashing. Are you planning on adding sashing?
I don't know, depends on how many blocks I have.
Well, that's true. That's a
Right?
good way of thinking it.
So
And then
many.
these little tiny cornerstones. And I love how this one has just the little heart right there.
Yeah, super cute. And then look at this because she wanted to make sure it hung. So
Right.
it has little tabs there so you can do it. And isn't that cute?
And she's
She has a
got
label.
personalized labels, which is fun. And then down here on the bottom, she's written the information on the dyes that she used and the fabric she used.
I
Great
feel
way
like
to
we
do
should
that.
have personalized ones that say made with love from Lola.
Well, you have a Lola.
I do have a Lola die. All right, and then this one is really fun. I'm going to stand back so we can get a good shot of it.
There you go. This is the Go Washington's Diamond Wall Hanging by Susie Webster of Webster Quilts. And by how she arranged her colors and her fabric blocks, because here's our block right there, but with how she's arranged the colors, that's how she's getting these secondary designs. It's really cool how she's done that.
Okay, now watch, because the back is just as cool
Oh,
as
it
the
is.
front.
It's fabulous. Look at her quilting on that.
So she did her quilting in the color of the shape on the front. And so it has a completely different secondary design on the back.
It does. I love that.
Good job, Susie. All right, quilters, there are plenty of great bob dies that will work with your scraps.
True.
I personally use the Go Log Cabin die by Leslie Main for my scraps. Every time I finish a project,
Yes.
I take those big chunks, cut them into usable logs.
Yes.
put them in Ziploc bags. And right now, the lovely Eric and I, this is our current quilt along.
That's
We're
right.
making the Go Scrappy Star log cabin quilt.
That's right.
There's more information on our events page if you want to join us.
And the blog.
And the blog. I forget about the blog.
Yes, don't forget about the blog.
No, I know. You write it every week.
I write it all the time.
I read it all the time.
Okay, I talked earlier about how I'm using the Go Million Stars die for my scraps
Yes.
that are that size. So kind of I start with seeing what on that die I can cut out of those scraps, and then I move on to other shapes.
And are your backgrounds the same?
You know, so far they are, but I think that I may kind of mix it up because I really like kind of the look of having some of them be lighter and darker. So I'm going to start doing that.
Okay. There's no dye police. You can do
There's
whatever you
no
want.
dye police. I also use the scraps from one of my favorite quilts that my daughters both wanted. So I took the scraps from it and I used it to make a double wedding ring table runner for Dana when she was getting married.
There you
So if you have a specific project, you can do that too.
All right. You know what else our viewers are going to love?
Another giveaway, perhaps?
That is true. Let's give away another $100 in AccuQuilt reward points to a lucky viewer, and that they can get their hands on a new bob die for a scrappy project.
Oh, get the Million Stars.
The Million Stars.
All right, quilters, the lucky registered viewer winning $100 in AccuQuilt reward points is, drum roll please. It's Mary Lynn T. from Hurdle Mills, North Carolina. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, now, when we happen to think that one of our most versatile shapes is the tumbler. So we have the tumbler in 3 sizes, a 6-inch, a 4-inch, and then look right here, this great 3 inches.
That's right.
Right? So this is our go-to for teaching new quilters, right?
That's right.
You want to talk about
it?
it?
The 6-inch is on a 10 by 10 die board, and it's very layer cake friendly, so it's a great way to use those squares. The 4-inch is on a 6 by 6 die.
Yep.
It's going to fit in all the cutters, including the Go Me, and it's great for using those packs of 5-inch squares that we call charm packs.
Yes.
But for scraps, we're really partial to using the 3-inch size.
Right. And so the 4-inch and the 3-inch will fit through all of our cutters, including the Go Me. And there's so much you can do with it. You can lay them out scrappy, or you can make designs and placemats and table runners and baby quilts and more. But Erica took it one step further, did you not?
I did. So I had a custom die made for me by our sister company, which is Custom Shape Pros, to make 2-inch finished tumblers.
Okay, so because it's a custom die, it doesn't have our great two-tone foam, so I'm just going to show you. So right here and right here. And just like our tumbler, it cut off the dog ears. You can do 6 layers. So Erica's going to lay down some fabric, and do I get to cut some?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sweet.
So I found a scrap.
Look at you. We really did truly just grab scraps today from our scrap bin.
There you go.
Okay, so you want to put a mat on it, and Erica's will fit through her Go Me, which I think is great, because don't you find yourself just sitting?
I do. I just sit there, and especially when I'm cutting up scraps and laying scraps out.
Do you want to show everybody?
Go ahead.
It's fabulous. This is super cute. Listen, you'll all want one.
You really will. That's okay.
And that's okay, because Erica will share the
I will. I will.
So look at this. 2 inches. So stinking cute.
So cute. So you can do all kinds of things with it, but basically it's a great way to use up smaller scraps of fabric and then put it together and do something else with that fabric. Basically make your own fabric. And that's what I did for this. This is, I know somebody's gonna ask, so I'm gonna tell you. This is called the Sew It Together bag. The pattern is by So Demented.
And that's why you made it, right? Because you love the name.
I kind of love that name.
Yeah.
It's a really popular pattern, and the inside isn't scrappy like that. Well, it is kind of scrappy like that.
Look at how fun this is. It has all sorts of, don't be scared of zippers.
Don't be scared of zippers. Really, there were
really
great instructions and tutorials out there, but just put them all together.
And then she just
made
used
something
it as
really
fabric,
unique.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So quilters, if you have a design in your quilting head that you would love to be made into a die, the process is really simple. First of all, go to customshapepros.com and fill out the online request for a free quote. Now, there's one big thing you need to know. If it is a registered trademark, you cannot have it replicated. Like you can't have mouse ears or the Nike swoosh or whatever, okay?
So, but beyond that, the more details that you can provide, the better, and the quicker the overall process will be for you.
So be sure to include the dimensions of the shape or the sizes, the die that you're interested in, and the fabric cutter you personally have that you want to use with that die. That will make a huge difference. Like if you have the Go Big, you can make bigger dies and longer dies. You can even attach a picture of your design from your computer.
That's right. Now, like we showed you, I've used my custom tumbler die to make other projects, but tumbler blocks can be used in a variety of ways. So we grabbed one of our favorite projects there.
Oh, she did.
I did. I did. Trust me. Trust me.
I know. Trust the process. Here we go.
This is the Go Tumbler Baby Quilt, and it's just, this is a great size for a baby to crawl around on the floor in and to grow into and to cuddle with. And this is laid out so it has kind of that plaid effect. But again, you could make it totally random as well.
Yeah, it's great. And then I love the quilting. Here, let's show you the back.
Yes.
Because the quilting is kind of rainbow, the back is rainbow colors, but you can see where she quilted those tumblers on the back.
Yeah, and with different colors too.
All right.
All right, now as much as I love my tumblers, I know that one of the most popular ways for a lot of quilters to cut down scraps at the end of the project is cutting them into strips. And happily, we've got 18 different strip dies for you to choose from for doing that.
I have to say, I probably use strip dies more than any other die.
You know what? We hear that from quilters all the time. We ask, what's your favorite die? And so many times it's our 2.5-inch strip, but we have 17 others, so let's talk about some of them.
So some quilters manage their scraps by cutting and storing them by 1.5, 2.5, 3.5-inch strips. And then you can make those into squares and rectangles. We have tons of videos on our YouTube channel and our website on how to cut strips and rectangles. But I think one of the best strip dies to use is our multi-strip die.
Yes.
So I'm going to show you this die. So this will fit through all of our cutters, including the Go Me. And it has 3 sections. So it cuts 1, 1.5, and 2 inches. So it finishes to 1/2 inch, 1 and 1.5 inches. Right? Now, some of you in your quilting head are going to think, I am never going to use this, but I'm going to show you a super cool trick. Okay, so here I have some scrap fabric, okay?
I was going to say, I didn't grab you long fabric,
No,
but you did.
No, but it's okay, I grabbed it. I grabbed it while we were talking. Okay, so let's say I want to cut our center strip, which is
1.5.
1.5 inches.
And one of my most frequently, I cut 1.5 strips a lot.
Right. So this is scrap fabric that I pulled from our scrap bin.
Right.
Okay. And I'm just going to cut a couple of rows of it because I'm going to show you this cool trick. This is one of my parlor tricks. I love it. Okay.
You do have tricks.
I do. Okay, so I've fan folded 3 sections over, and you can see the blades are here. Okay, treat it like a strip die.
Yes.
Cut with the fabric or use your scraps.
Right.
Now, it's only going to cut where there's fabric and a mat. So if I put my mat down here, it's going to cut my 1.5 inch and my 2-inch section. I don't want it to. So watch this. I'm just going to offset it.
There you go.
See? Because quilters ask me all the time, like, well, what if I just want 1.5-inch strips? This is how you get it.
Right, and it's a great reminder, you don't have to cut the whole length. So if you're working with scraps and they're not whole width of fabric strips, that's okay. The other great thing about it is that strip dies don't have any crosswise blades. So that means that you don't have to worry about your lengthwise grain when you're cutting on it.
So look at this, I cut perfect 1.5-inch strips.
That is so fun.
So if I just wanted to cut 2-inch strips, I would just fan fold over this.
Right.
Okay, but quilters ask us all the time, how do we cut the middle?
How do we cut with that?
Okay, now I have strips for this.
I've used this die to cut background pieces. You know, when you're doing a non-AccuQuilt pattern, it has lots of little
yes.
strips and rectangles,
Yes.
different sizes. I've used it for that, and it works really well. But you can also just cut your scraps and then sew them together randomly. Again, kind of creating a new fabric that you can use for bags or for cutting with another die, like maybe that 6-inch tumbler.
Very much so. I
Yeah,
like that idea.
yeah.
All right, that's a fun idea. So basically you have scrappy fabric that you can cut into squares, half square triangles, like Erica said, tumblers, and so forth.
Now, if you're someone who likes more of a controlled scrappy project, who has trouble
Everybody
keeping
take a
up
breath.
control,
Take
take
a
a deep breath, because you can do that too. The multi-strip is great for making the project hanging behind us, which I would call controlled scrappiness.
Yes. What's it called? It's the rail fence,
It is the
right?
Go Scrappy Rail Fence Quilt.
So you can see here's our 2, our 1.5, our 1, and our half. Look at those. Try cutting those by hand.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Wait till you see. Look at how cute this is. So this is the great thing, because then we cut them in strips and then we turn them sideways and cut them into squares.
Right, and you can
sew
see
them
that the
together.
widths are all the different colors, so there is, like I said, it's controlled scrappiness,
Yeah.
okay?
And rail fence is a real common pattern.
It is a very common pattern. This one looks very modern to me because of the solids and because of that kind of control scrappiness, but you could do it entirely random too, and it would be adorable.
All right, now we've talked about Custom Shape Pros. They're our sister company. And there's a chance that many of you already in your quilting heart are thinking, oh my goodness, I would love a custom die.
Right.
So as a special treat, we're gonna give away a gift card to Custom Shape Pros so that one lucky registered viewer can have help towards their very own custom die being made.
That is right, quilters. All right. The winner of a $200 gift card to Custom Shape Pros is, drum roll please, it's Teresa W. from Coralville, Iowa. Congratulations.
That
Yes.
was the big winners. All right, now quilters, just remember the average cost of a custom die from Custom Shape Pros is about $200.
Right.
So Teresa, if your custom die turns out to be more than that, you'll be responsible for paying the difference.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Now, we've got a few more prizes to give away today because our friends at Timeless Treasures provided us with some amazing fabric selections to give away. They kept these hidden from us because they knew we'd ooh and ah over them
so
too
they're
much.
bees.
They're
and
bees.
flowers and plaid. Look at that cute
There are
stripe.
bees with gnomes.
Gnome bees.
Bees with gnomes. It doesn't, oh, look at the check. You know how I love gingham.
I know.
Daisies.
Look at this.
Little happy
and
bees.
with words.
Happy bees.
It says, be yourself, wear a smile.
It's a happy bee. They're busy bees.
Busy bees.
That's what I call my youngest grandson, is busy
There you
bee.
go. Okay, and they say we have to give it away.
They do.
Oh, but it's so cute. So, Timeless Treasure. All right, we're going to give it away.
This is honeycomb fabric.
I know, it's honeycomb. It's still going away.
Man.
All right, the first winner of a Timeless Treasures fabric selection is, drumroll please, Judy WP of Centennial, Colorado. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, you have to let us know what you do with this.
Yes.
The second winner of another selection of these wonderful fabrics is, drum roll please, it's Molly A. from Taylorville, Illinois. Congratulations. Oh my gosh.
Huge shout out
Okay,
to
take
Timeless
them away.
Treasures for sponsoring today's show. Our quilters will love making their scrappy projects with this fabric. And do you know that one of my new jobs is that I get to send out fabric to quilters?
I think that was a
They tr-
bold
They
move.
trust me with that.
Could be questionable.
I agree.
Now, quilters, earlier in the show, we asked what your favorite way to use scraps is. So now it's time to find the magic card and hear your responses.
They gave us fabric and answers. Okay, so Dambra C says she loves to make pot holders.
Oh, that's a great
That is
idea.
a clever idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Lynn K says pieced square borders. That's a good idea.
I see that a lot, where you just have those squares. Amy's making an I Spy quilt for her grandchildren with her scraps.
Oh, that's a great
that's
idea.
And that would be really fun for the tumbler, like the 4-inch tumbler,
Yes.
then they could just match the
Right.
fabric. Okay.
Okay, so Lori B says mug rugs. Great idea. And you could do those with anything. You could do those with the 3-inch tumblers, but you could do those with your cube.
Right. Or the
Super
multi-strap.
easy. Multi-strips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bethany is my favorite. She uses half square triangles. That's what I use.
Oh, it
I
doesn't
love
get
'em.
better than
Just
that.
love 'em.
Sabine A says quilt as you go strip piecing.
Oh, I've seen
That's
that.
a whole nother show in itself, but that is a great idea. Yeah.
Should do that one day.
Yes.
Jo says she loves the tumbler die.
Oh, it's great.
Yep.
Oh, look, Andrea B says Mill and Stars die.
There you
Yay,
go.
Andrea.
Judy uses patriotic scraps for Quilts of Valor. We are partnered this year with Quilts of Valor.
Yes.
Be sure to check out our website. We have a pattern for the split back star block.
Yes. Yes. So many words.
So many.
Okay, Roy and Julie S. cut tons of 2.5-inch squares.
Yes.
I'm doing a lot of that myself.
Yes.
Be sure you're using a die.
Okay, Wizzy is hilarious. Wizzy loves to use a program called Scrap Therapy. And she had to donate her scraps. Julie does.
Oh, Julie had to donate scraps because they were taking over. Julie K., we feel your pain.
Yes, Erica lives in that world. These are great ideas.
These are great ideas.
Yep.
Now see, this is all it takes to get us inspired to use them, right?
Yes. All right, Quilters, we have plenty of great deals waiting for you on our website, like how today is the last day to receive 23% off your orders, online orders of $100 or more. You need to use the code EASTER23, EASTER 23. Now, this sale was scheduled to end yesterday, but we extended it as a special thanks to our quilters. Check out our website for more details. Some exceptions do apply.
All right, to get your order in, open a new tab in your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com/party to go to the site, see the offers, and place your order. And while you're there, don't forget to order this month's Die to Try. It's the Go Full-Blown Tulip 8-inch finished block.
And
oh, how clever. You have one right here.
Isn't that amazing how we have this? And we were talking the other day about how it not only does it make this cool tulip block, but it also, the shapes in there are, we had some really great inspiration when we launched it on how to make different blocks using those
They're all
same
unique
shapes.
scrap
Nowhere
shapes.
else.
Nowhere else. And Scrappy would be fun too. This would be another good scrap buster. This would be a good scrap buster.
All right, it's time for Eric and I get ready for our next event. We hope that today's trunk show was just what you needed to inspire you to get creative with your scraps.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and look for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday.
You can visit the events page on AccuQuilt's website for more details on upcoming shows. And while you're there, check out the blog for tips, tricks, tutorials, and inspiration galore.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time,
so you can quilt more. Don't forget to check out our events page to see all our upcoming events. You can enter your email to sign up for notifications for upcoming shows. Once you're signed up, you'll receive an event reminder email before each show. Signing up for our events means you're entered to win a door prize that we'll give away during the show, so you'll want to tune in and see if you won.
Be sure to join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. We have tons of fun. Tomorrow, Eric and I will be starting our sewing blocks for the Go Scrappy Star Log Cabin Quilt Sew Along.
And tune in every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time for launch parties and more trunk shows like the one we had today. These events are filled with more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Next time, we'll be relaunching the Go Llama Die and offering new inspiration just in time for Mother's Day. We hope to see you there.
And Quilters, are you going to Paducah for this year's AQS Quilt Week? AccuQuilt will be hosting the lounge, and I will be doing a meet and greet in the Sew Inspired booth on Thursday.
Inspired to sew.
Inspired to sew, there we go. Stop by and say hello.